So the rest of the parts got here today. And the first ones we're going to take a look at are the knobs. So I've seen these knobs before, I don't know how, on Reverb, and I always wanted to get them for a build, but I never really had one that worked. But what better knob for the murdercaster than a 12 gauge shotgun shell? So that's pretty cool. Could not pass up that opportunity. I think it's perfect for the murdercaster. So these are real 12 gauge shotgun shells. They look like it. I don't know. I haven't handled them a whole lot in my life, but they look the part. Very cool. And one other cool thing to note, and how you can kind of tell these are real. And again, I'm not a super expert on ballistics analysis by any means, but if you look, the firing pin marks on the back of these are different. So you can actually kind of tell that they're real shotgun shells. So very cool, shotgun shell knobs. That's definitely gonna help the murdercaster look the part. So the main inspiration for the murdercaster concept was actually the blood spatter pickguard. So this is not the first blood spatter pickguard I got. I'll show you a picture of the first one. Yeah, so that one kind of looked like melted crayon, and I got my money back for it. But when I saw this one, I went ahead and I decided to take a second shot. All right, well, this one looks way better. Already I can tell just by looking at it. It doesn't look like melted crayon. It does kind of look like what it's supposed to look like. Well, let's see. How does it look on the guitar? Yeah, I think we can work that. It's a little weird that it's white and the guitar is bone and off-white, but I guess it's kind of accentuated by that. And let's just drop in our little shotgun shell knobs. And there you go, solid halfway to murdercaster right there. And it was probably excessive, but I also got the blood spatter backplate just because I thought it was awesome and would make a nice finishing touch. So there we go, that's most of the components of the murdercaster right there. So unfortunately, I was not smart enough to buy a bridge that actually fit on this guitar. This is something you always need to watch out for. This obviously is a 2-post style bridge, and the one that I showed you in the part 2 video was a 6-post. So I got another one. Thankfully that other one was a Wilkinson, and it was only about, I think, $18, so I can afford to hold on to it until I have an actual place for it. So this is the Trem Arm for the new bridge, which is a 2-post bridge. Here's all the hardware, including the 2 posts, which may or may not fit. But I suppose we'll have to find out. Okay, so here is the new bridge. It's 2-post design. It's definitely very hefty. I can say without even weighing it that it is substantially heavier than either of the other 2 bridges that we looked at before. And look at that, it drops in perfectly. So I am going to swap out the bridge posts for the black ones just because it looks better. But finally, I have a bridge that actually fits. So, you know, there's a few little scratches and machining imperfections on this, but nothing really to be concerned about. And the black coating on the top definitely feels more substantial on this one. It is still a Wilkinson bridge, but the saddles are totally different than the other kind. And, well, it's kind of interesting. I guess you adjust the intonation via these screws right here, which kind of feed into the spring, because there is no, maybe, I don't know, maybe use an Allen key down here. So kind of an interesting design, you know, definitely different than your standard Strat saddles. So, you know, the front part of the saddle looks the same. You can still raise and lower it as normal, but the intonation adjustment, there's this little screw here, there's still the spring here, and then down here there's no screws, there's just openings that do appear to be threaded. So that'll be interesting when we get to the intonation part. So I was too curious. I do have to weigh the bridge. 12 ounces even. So if you remember from the previous video, the original bridge on this guitar was 9 and change, and I think the replacement was 10.2 ounces, and this one is 12. So who knows what difference that really makes? Is it more stable because it has a higher mass? Does it increase sustain because of the higher mass? Who knows? But you know, from my perspective, I'll go with the conventional wisdom here, and I'm going to assume that heavier is better on a Strat style bridge. In the next video, I'm going to wind the pickups and I'm going to start assembling the guitar. Thanks for watching.